Hello, people. Good day, people. Hello, people, and good day. My name is Denise LaSalle Williams. I'm the granddaughter of the late Eunice Remey Hicks and the late Earl Williams Sr. of Early Branch, South Carolina. So, this is an open letter to Harlow and any crew or anybody, right? Let me get this real straight. If you wonder why I'm eating my apple pie, because I made apple pie. Yeah, homemade scratch. Let's get me real straight. So, Harlow, I was nice to you. I treated you with respect. I did right by you. Let me tell you now before you get on my messenger again. You see, I'm an old woman. I'm every woman. I got breasts, tits, and everything else like a woman. All right? You did too. Don't get it twisted. I know about people being gay and lesbian and all of that. I have nothing against about that because I have a couple cousins in my family that are gay, right? But do I treat them any different? No, I treat them like somebody because they're human. They weren't born that way. That's what they choose to do. Now, Harlow, you sent me a message on my messenger from my Facebook of all videos that I made or pictures that you took that you got from me. Now, what was that going to accomplish, Harlow? Right? Tell me what was that going to accomplish? And they put no food on your table, and they put no clothes on your back, and they keep a roof over your head. And damn sure didn't change nothing about you, right? Now, you and I talked about trying to help one another, about the situation with the 18, with all that other stuff, right? I was all for it at first. But then, I don't know what came through it. I don't know what you and anybody talked about with me. But I never said anything about you or anything to anybody about you, Harlow. I've gone up with life. I got life to live, right? So, you post something on my messenger page of all my videos of me to messenger. It's like you send a picture of me that I already got. Like I told somebody before, if I send you shit, I ought to send you because I already got it. Right? I mean that plan. So, why are you going to send me something back that I already have? What were you trying to prove? What were you trying to gain? You could have been a woman up or man or whatever you are. I'm not judging. You could have called me. You could have inboxed me, right? FaceTime me. And talk like an adult to an adult. Because we're not kids. Right, Harlow? And this go for anybody in the crew. Listen, I'm not a child. The Bible said when I was a child, I did things as a child and I reasoned like a child. When I became an adult or man, the Bible said when it says man, but for me, I'm rephrasing. When I became an adult, I did things that played like an adult. Right? So you want to play childish games, I'm gonna play childish game with you. All right? You don't come on my Facebook page or any of my pages. You go in there, you look at my pictures, something I already know. I told y'all asses, I got it on my phone. And then y'all go send me back something that I already got. What, Harlow? And anybody else? It's like me writing a letter to you and you send it back. Now, I know how I write. That's stupid, right? Oh, yeah, okay, it's stupid. Listen, you don't know nothing about Hard Knocks life, right? If you don't know anything about Hard Knocks, keep your mouth shut. Because I tell y'all, Hard Knocks is this. You think you didn't bad with that protesting? Y'all got a whole lot more coming through. But that protest, honey, it's a whole lot more coming to it. Well, you go down your damaged stuff, these white folk stuff. You're falling behind these white folks stuff. Even though there's more the white folks are doing than black. What they're going to do is they're going to blame it on the African-American black folks. And they're going to make it harder for black folks. You got some good people out here, right? You got some good people out here that do stand up for black people and do not want to see human beings because they don't care about color. Because I didn't grow up with color. They don't want to see innocent people get killed and hurt for dumb stuff. And I'm like that. But here's the thing. When you go to destroy anybody's property, just go for my Caucasian family, and because I got in school, all I had was Caucasian teachers, and I thank them to the highest, right? But let me tell you something to my younger generation. You don't know what protesting is. You don't know about the civil rights movement. You let your parents teach you about that, all right? You let that for these old coons over here. Because let me tell you what's going to happen. You talk about the hard knocks, right? Let me get this straight with you. When mom and dad is not around, you got a wash machine, right? You need your clothes washed, right? Where you going? You can't go to mama's house because you done damaged that to wash your clothes. Where you living at, you say your machine broke. The power's out now because y'all don't went out there and throwing things and burning up stuff. So now the generators that would generate the whole city, that power's out. Can't use electricity, can't use the refrigerator. I'm trying to tell you something to help you because I've been there and I've done that. I mean, I didn't go out there and protest, but I'm trying to help you with something. So you need your clothes washed. And you said, well, I just go to the laundromat. It takes money to wash the clothes. Let's say you got 5 loads of clothes. Some machines take $5 to wash. And the big machine might take $10 to wash. And the bigger machine might take $20 to wash. Then you got to wash powder, Clorox, and fabric softener. Then you got to put money in the dryer. And let me tell you something. Where you was used to being home as a kid, this is what they mean by when I was a child, I did things as a child. When you was home, mom used to wash your clothes every week. Now you're grown and you're on your own. You can't wash your clothes every week like you used to. Because when you in your own place, you got light bill, gas bill, water bill, right? Heating bill. And if your wash machine is run by gas, like your dryer is run by gas, that's extra gas because you got the stove run by gas, right? And you got the dryer run by gas. Now, the power's out and everything else is out. How you going to eat? But you done going to destroy everything these white folks done. And so my Caucasian family, I'm talking to you too. You done destroy everything now because you can't go back to mama. And you don't know nothing about when that machine is broken, right? Of the tub of the machine, because it costs money for the person to come in and fix. First, when you call them, they do the consultant. When they consult, they charge you. Then when they come to fix with parts of labor, they charge you, right? So now you still got to wait till you get your clothes washed. But you know nothing about that mechanic wash machine. I do. You know nothing about taking them clothes because you don't want to get your nails dirty. You don't want to get your hair dirty. You don't want to get too dirty, right? To put them clothes in that hot pot and stir it up, put your little fabric soap, especially if you have to make your own soap, right? And stir it up and beat them and then hang them up on the line. Oh, but you don't want to do that. You want the microwave life. But your microwave life, you to destroy that. Now you hungry. How you going to eat? You never plant any vegetables. You didn't go in the garden. And this is a drought season now because you know with the coronavirus, that's a drought season there because some places it's not getting no rain, no nothing for them to grow anything. And the cows is not producing a lot of milk. And if they do produce a lot of milk, hell, you can't even go to the store to buy them because a lot of things is closed. And then you ain't got no money, right? You got one-time stimulus check. Now you can't pay your house note, you can't pay your rent. You know how you're gonna get paid. But see, you when you messed up. So Harlow and everybody, before y'all come at me, think. Like I said, your lights are out, right? Let me show you something. Your lights are out, right? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? You better be thinking about kerosene lamp. Oh, that's right. We in this the new world now where some places you can't have kerosene lamps, right? And some places don't sell them things no more. But when mom and dad try to teach you stuff, you didn't want this. A great grandmama try to teach you, but you didn't want to hear that. You too busy want to be out with the boys and the girls, or you too busy to be out in the street. You done missed that. The kerosene heaters to keep you warm. Cause let me tell you, right, we got 2 months of this summer. Well, actually 2 months and 3. So we got June, July. No, we got 3 months of August. All right. And by the time September come, right, what you gonna do? If this pandemic get any worse, and Trump already said at his word that if it get worse, he's not gonna shut down nothing. He's just gonna let it go. Mm, 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 mm. Oh, and if you do get another stimulus check, you get one more payment, and that's it. I catch hell paying my rent, and I don't know what y'all doing. But y'all, you want to get on Facebook and you want to get on YouTube and you want to tear down people and you want to beef. And then especially if the person's trying to help you, you start talking. So open letter to you, Harlow. I don't know what you were doing by sending me pictures of videos of me because I was telling the truth. I don't know what your message was, and then before I could send anything back to you, or you was a woman enough or man enough to call me, FaceTime me, and talk to me about it, or whatever the issue was, you cut off your message so that nobody can reply back to you. So I don't know what that means. What was the purpose? Did somebody say something to you that as if I said something about you and you didn't want to be my friend? Because somebody, honey, let me tell you something. Let me get this straight. To anybody, my family will tell you on my Facebook that knows me, right? If you meet any of my family in person, they will tell you, Nana, that's my nickname, Nana, because my real name is Denise. Nana, if she gonna tell you something, she gonna tell it directly to you. See, Nana is not the one that gonna talk about you behind your back. If you tell me something confidentiality, it's between me and you. If I repeat something that you said, I'm not going to repeat it to the third party. I'm going to repeat it back to you for a personal reason. Because when you make some statement to me, I'm going to say, you remember what you said and did to remind you. So crew, listen. Hard knocks is not what you see out there, that protesting, honey. Hard knocks is what's getting ready to come. The Bible already spoke about that, was yet to come. This is part of it. It's going to be so sore in the land. Honey, even Trump can't undo it. Why do you think that he wasn't sending the PPEs? Personal protection equipment. That means the mask, the gloves, all that. Why do you think he didn't send them? Because he don't want to. They got money. Why do you think that they're not rushing for this medicine, this antidote? I call it antidote. They ain't rushing for it. And when they do, they're paying billions of dollars for just a ready-made thing. Because Dr. Fauci already said that it takes a year for something like a medicine like that to be approved by the Federal Drug Administration, right? And it does. Ain't nobody gonna whip up the batch or nothing with this one, and then they pay billions of dollars. That's just something just to get you over, and then you still got it in your system. And it's not guaranteed that you can't get it again. If you get the chicken pox again, I done had the pneumonia twice. So don't tell me that it can't come back. So crew, let me tell you something. Your better best is this. You better be learning to learn their home remedies. Stop making you some lemon, ginger, honey, gin, right? Right, in a pot with some, and let it boil and put your tea bag, mix your tea, and stop jarring that stuff because you're going to need it. Oh, yes. I ain't talking about just get the, you're going to need that Vicks too, and keep you some onions or some potatoes because you got to make them string and put around your neck. You're going to need that. Oh, yes. I ain't talking about that old time. See, you better be trying to go to one of them old stores, not CVS, because CVS don't carry 66. 666. Oh, no. Yeah. That Benadine, that ligament. Oh, that's why I come from the South, the old South. So some people would know what I'm talking about with that ligament. Right? Now, a while back, somebody talked about hard knocks and talked about what caregiving and all of that. See, I've done that. I did that in my 20s. I don't know when I might have to do that again because I got the jack the trades to do it. Right? I know what it's like to take care of patients. I know what like to take care of loved ones because I worked in a nursing home, I worked in a hospital, and I took care of my grandmother, the late Eunice Williams Remay Hicks. Right? That's my grandmama. And not only her, my Aunt Joyce, which is her daughter, who lived with one kid who was a diabetic, and we had to pump water out of her. That means when you go to the bathroom, she didn't have half of a bladder, so we had to pump water out of her every night, right? So, me having to have a child, right, and work 11 to 7, and sometimes I work 2 shifts, or sometimes 3, 11 to 7, 7 to 11, 7 to 3, sorry, 11 to 7 and 7 to 3 and 3 to 11 back to back. There are times I take breaks. I go home. If my mother was there, I went there to take care of my grandmama and did what I do with my grandmama. So if I took care of my grandma during the day, I got a couple hours of sleep and I went to work at night. You don't know what that's like. See, my grandma was not the type of person with just a lay there bed, people. You had to wash her, dress her, feed her, turn her, change her every 2 hours. You had to clean the tube, that feed her tube in her stomach. You know those machines that they have in the hospital? We had that at the house. You need to be able to know how to read those machines. So I was the nurse and the medical terminologist, both at home and in the hospital nurse home. You see, you don't know nothing about that. Thank God my grandmama wasn't too bad where she had to get bed sores. Because we took care of her for 16 years. That's what you call hard knocks. That's what you call a woman who know how to take care of somebody. So you got to know how to change a person that confined to a bed, occupied and unoccupied in the bed. Jack up that Hoyer lift, right? Dead weight, right? And you got a small body. You got to feed them, parade their food, because they can't eat it like you. And my grandmama had teeth, but she still couldn't swallow and eat. Oh, yeah. Not just my grandma. I have several patients like that. I used to take care of one hall by myself. Had to get up the ones that can walk to the dining area. Got to get them, all them up by 10, 12 o'clock in the morning. Some had to get their dialers and go for their ride. Some had to be in the dining hall. And then the bedridden ones. The one that has stage 4 bed sore, that you see the rib, that their bone into their back. That can't get surgery. So there's nothing else they can do but pack them. And put your date on it when it's, put that spermicide on. That's it. It's gone. They're gone. You better hope there ain't no germs that don't go in it. You know what I mean? That's it. You can get bed sores anywhere on your body, right? Sometimes it comes from not eating right. Sometimes it comes from the wrinkles on the sheets. Sometimes they just be laid in bed all day and they don't get up. Nobody don't get them up. So they confined. And you got to know how to amputate them from the bed to the chair to the bed. And you got to know how to change the chair too if they're sitting in it. I've seen patients that some of my partners have patients that will be wet up all day long. So you don't know what that's like. But you want to video me, you want to take my videos, or you want to just take some off my Facebook, right? See, let me tell you what Hard Knocks is. This is Harlow and the rest of you crew. You don't know what it's like to have to take care of somebody. You don't know what it's like when you have to send them off, right? And you might say, all of them are not like that. Baby, let me tell you something. There's a lot of them that are like that, even now with the pandemic, because you don't know what they had in that pandemic, right? You don't know. They could tell you they just died of CDC, right? Yes, they did. That's part of it. But they have other problems prior to that because, see, they don't get a chance to go to no doctor. They can't get out like you can. And half of the time, they're not getting the care like they're supposed to get. See, they only do that when the state is there. When the state people come in there and check, and they play like this, oh, Miss Jones, oh, Miss Williams. So my name is Williams, right? Because my last name is Williams. Oh, Miss Williams, blah, blah, blah. And their mind is gone, so they don't understand, right? Right? And then don't let your loved one, you already know that kind of state of mind there, but see, they get aggravated when they want to smoke their cigarette and get on a cell phone. They don't want to be bothered. Then they call the LPN or the RN or somebody like me or somebody to come and give them a needle or what they do. See, because I don't do that stuff. See, I care about people. But I've seen them put your mamas and your grandmamas to sleep. You think I'm lying? I've watched them do it. And not that I was just a bystander, sit there. I was like, can't do that. I got to walk off. Yes, I have seen them when your loved one, they be in their right mind if they have them. A lot of them be telling them the truth that they didn't eat that day, and they be telling the truth because what they do, the dietitian or somebody come and put their plate, their tray on the tray table so they can eat. It's up to us, whoever is assigned to them, to make sure they eat, right? So I might got a row full of people. I got to go by each hall to make sure the ones going to the dining room, one's going to dining, and then I got the ones I got to feed, right? I've seen several of them, what they do. They were right on that log, and that patient ate all day. They might get a cup with ice, and some of them, and they're supposed to put fresh ice in them cups or water, and they don't do that. And don't let when you send your loved one some sodas or cookies, they'll ask, Miss Jones, Miss Blue, can I get a soda? And she'll say yes. You know your mama didn't drink all them sodas, right? You know your mama didn't spend her money, right, when you put money in that pocketbook, right? Now, let's talk about this CBD, right? Half of them, I'm doing this because my nose itch. Half of them patients, right? Right? They're in their right mind. They got people that come in, they wash them, they comb their hair. Sometimes what they do, they take the comb from your mama room to go comb somebody else's hair with it, and it comes back. Or they take powder or lotion or whatever from somebody and put it on your family. That's how bacteria transfer. Or some of them girls don't even wash their hands. You feel me? They don't wash their hand after their cigarette break. They don't wash their hand after they come out the bathroom. I know what I'm talking about because I've gone in stores like Sam's, Costco's, cashiers, go to the bathroom, they come and fix their hand and walk right back out to the door. But see, you want to call me, you want to say that I'm not hard knocks, right? Or you want to put something up my, baby, you need to check yourself. Because I'm about to tell you, listen, this is just the beginning. You got your brothers and sisters out here fighting. And they're destroying everything, all your stores and everything down. What you need to tell them, say, listen, we're going to learn what it means about the Million Man March before we get out there. We're going to learn about the Black Lives Matter before we get out there. We're going to learn about what the protesters meant. We're going to learn about the Black Million Watt March. You know, with Martin Luther King, the Civil Rights Movement, how it started, when it was founded. See, you got to learn that. Because, see, you have to know what you're marching for and what you're standing for. Because if you stand for the wrong thing and trying to destroy houses and stuff, honey, you got to be thinking about mama, daddy, and grandmama in that facility. Like I said, half of them that are dead and gone, they ain't down. They didn't just, not only did they, and I even researched that too, half of them didn't just die because of CBD. That was part of that made them die. Cleanliness. Not feeding them. Some of them not getting the nutrition that they need. Yes, But they're going to use that as one thing because they don't want the people to know what's going on. Yeah. And half of y'all that, and they know who comes there to see their loved one, who don't, who checks and who don't check. Y'all know that in Georgia, they didn't even want cameras in your loved one room. You know why? I'm gonna tell you why. Because they don't want you to know what's going on. See, listen, I took care of my grandma, right? My grandmama used to beat my Aunt Joyce when she was little, right? My Aunt Joyce wasn't no child, right? My Aunt Joyce was old enough to be like a grandmama because she was older than my mama. Because my mom was the baby and her other sister the middle. All five of her brothers and sisters, because one died and preceded the death of my grandma, right? So my Aunt Joyce was the firstborn. She was older, but she was young. I mean, older, you know what I mean? Small, petite. And then my grandma mom, when she lost some of her dementia, she thought of Aunt Joyce as being a little child. And I used to sit in that house and I watched how my Aunt Joyce was getting beaten, right? I was older, and I wasn't grown then. I was just still in my teens. And my grandma used to take a belt, be beating my Aunt Joy for stupid things. Will wash out her car, clean out her pocketbook. She couldn't go to church. All that kind of stuff. But you call them, you got something to tell me? I watched that. All right? Little petite Aunt Joyce. My grandmama did to my Aunt Joyce. When it was my grandma, I watched my grandma from walking to all the time till she was bedridden totally. Till her hands were like this. We had to stick washcloths in because our hands, you could smell it. Because when your hands is like this, it sweats. So you got to take a washcloth to try to clean out because of your hands like this. So that's why I said you have to be careful about how you treat people, how you talk to people, because you never know. These same hands can get locked. God don't come when you want him. He comes just on time. Right? He comes just on time. Now, Harlow, I was nice to you, and I treated you with respect. Now, I got nothing to do with what anybody else has said about you or how they said about you, but you didn't have to put me in the midst of that, right? Don't put me in the midst of that. Or whatever they told you. See, you should have called me. Now, the rest of the crew or anybody else got anything issues with me, they know how to come to me, right? Because like I said, you don't know what hard knocks is. Because when that lights go out, when that water go out, honey, let me tell you something. I got family I can go stay with if I have to leave this apartment. I don't mind going to the shelter if I have to, because God has blessed me with another. What the devil meant for my bad, God will bless me with something even bigger and better. And I got land in Carolina, so I can go home. So I'm not bragging or boasting. It's just that's how it is. That's how my grandmama left it, right? But like I tell you, you don't know what hard knocks is. So now you need to teach your young kids what they need to be doing before they get out there and do this stuff. Because now if they close these stores down, now these stores are closed. You already know we got this CVD pandemic. They find something. I understand. Don't get me wrong, young people. I understand what they did to this young man was wrong. It was wrong. And I have a son. So I raised foster children, my nieces and nephews. I did it. All right. So I know, and I feel for you. And I was a tutor, and I would work with kids, and I'm a psychologist, and I still work with families and children. So I know what you're feeling. This man left kids. They're traumatized because of what this cop did to that man. So I understand what you all going through. But the thing about it is, you all, whoever your leaders or whatever you did, you should have came up with a plan. Okay, maybe you burned the police station now. Maybe you did the cops' car. That's fine because your anger is at them. Your anger is not at CVS or Walgreens or the grocery stores or any of them stores because they got nothing to do with it. I understand one of the reasons why you do it because you're upset about your town, your city, because your city has not done anything productive enough to help you. I understand that. But you don't take it out on them because now you need the resources. Now, when Trump already said if he closed this, he could call a state of emergency and that's it. Or he's not going to close anything and he's going to let it just be like it is. And these bad boys, these KKKs and all of them, they're real, right? They're real. And they don't have to be KKK. These people are real. Come out, tell who they really is. So to my black brothers and sisters, to my Caucasian brothers and sisters, please talk to your kids because it's real. You need, even though you can't go and see some of your loved ones in these nursing home and residents, you need to have a plan. Sometimes you might, and if mom and dad is still all right, you need to have a plan when if you got to turn the basement into a room for grandmama, you're going to have to do that. And you can take care of grandma by yourself. And you kids, don't be stealing from grandmama. Don't be trying to hurt grandmama because you never know when you become a grandmama or granddaddy. You do what's right. And everybody could work in a chain of command down to the little kids. They get to learn what hard work is. They get to know what responsibility is. Even when they come home and do their homework and play for a little while, then they come and help take care of grandmama or great-grandmama. So they get to know what it's like. So before you come at me, if anything, you all should be calling me and asking me, how can I do this, Denise? Because you're going to need it. And I understand it's a lot of work because it is. It was a lot of work for me. Had to give up a lot. See, you don't know that part about our life. Having to give up all that. See, don't look at all of this, right? Listen to what I'm saying. Having to give up 16 years of your life. Having to give up. Can't go to church. Can't go out when everybody else go out. You can't do a lot of things you wanted to do. You know, the only good thing for me is when I took care of my grandma, I was able to do my studies online for classes when I was at Capella University, right? Thank God I was able to complete that. And that was the only thing. Then when I did went back to school, when I completed that and I decided to go back to school again and take care of my grandma, I still had hard work because I was married, had a husband, had a child, right? Going to and from school, right? Picking him up from school and go to school and then go to work at night and take care of my grandma. Now, if my mother was at work or whatever, I was there because I did mine at night. You know what that's like. And when school was out, and during the time of my divorce, my ex-husband, I still had to take care of my grandmama. I took care of my grandma until I came to Boston in 2008. And my grandma died 2 years after. So don't come telling me what Hard Knocks is. Don't come telling me about anything that you want to tell me about life, okay? He's brought me this far, and I'm not going to tell him right now. God brought me in this for purpose and a reason. I'm here for a purpose and a reason, right? So listen, people, take care of yourself. Stop judging other people because the Bible says, judge ye not, shall not be judged. And so before you judge me on my videos or anything, you ask me questions. Something you don't understand, you see me on Facebook, inbox me. Or you can inbox me. You can email me, dealersal43@outlook.com. And I'm not 43, trust me, I'm way older than that. But you can email me at dealersal43@outlook.com, or you can inbox me on Messenger at on my Facebook. And if you have a question, I'll be more glad. See, some of y'all get out there, there's a lot of people that talk about in the church, they used to go out there and give y'all that story about how they used to, eat deer and sausage and all that other stuff. They give you that story because they want you to pay your tithes off and give that money. See, I ain't got to tell you that. I ain't got to sell you no story because I lived it. I had cast on my leg from my toe to my hip. I got proof on my legs where it was cut from the doctor's surgery. I went to Children's Hospital at Boston Medical at the time. It's Boston Medical now, before it was Boston University. I started out at Beaufort Memorial Hospital when I was a child in down South Carolina with a car accident. They shipped me to Boston. I went to Children's Hospital, then Boston University. I remember when they took stitches out my ankles. They took bones out my legs and put in my feet. So again, and then when they started talking about me riding a little mini bus and half bus, baby, let me tell you something. Thank God, if I rode a mini bus, half bus, van, or whatever, thank God I got the chance to do that. Because some of y'all ain't going to be able to do that now because y'all destroy everything. And now you make it even greater and better for them. Instead of you all marching, having a plan for what you march and protesting for. Maybe you could go to the governor's office. Maybe you could go to the senator's office. Maybe you could go to the mayor's office and talk about things. And you all come to the group agreement or whatever. But when you start destroying these things, I understand you're upset. Right? First, we need to be worried about this pandemic. That's number one. We need to be trying to come together that we got kids that in college or whatever, people in medical school trying to come up with how we can do some home remedies and stuff to take care of our bodies, And if you don't have no place to go, don't go. Keeping a mask in your face, doing what you have to do. But the mask's not supposed to be on your face just for you to go out and do what you want to do and rob so they don't see you because that. No, that's not what it's for. It's to take care of you. This young man, George Floyd, died because of the hand of an evil person. And see, let me tell you something about that before I go. Before this pandemic came in the world, let's go way back. Before the pandemic came in the world, before there was any influenza, you all were having cookouts and parties and all kinds of things, entertaining anybody in your house. Sometimes in your home can be and the enemy can use them too. Sometimes your own people. Your own people. Right? That's right. And if you're Caucasian, the same thing. Your own people. See, you entertain any and everybody. And if you don't do what they say do, or do what they want you to do, then they turn on you. Right? So now you entertain spirits. You entertain spirits. Now you can't get rid of the spirit. Now you got another spirit on top of it, But enemy didn't come alone. He didn't come with just a demonic spirit. He come with legions. He's come with a disease that gets you all mixed and confused. Now he can make you vulnerable to come on his side. And now he said, well, now what you gonna do? Sorry, I don't know why. I have allergies. But now what you gonna do? He came with legions. Now you can't get rid of them spirits, because you ain't got enough power to do that. Now you done destroyed the town, so you can't get rid of that. You done got rid of that town. I don't care where you live at. Now, what you gonna do? I'm trying to help y'all out. So again, before you try to attack Denise, and that will for anybody, okay, Harlow or whatever, like I said, I'm not trying to attack you. I don't know what was being said. I don't know how it was being said. I don't know why you came on my messenger and sent me this pictures of me and my videos, because I don't know what you were trying to send to me, but then when to reply back to you, somehow you cut off. And somebody made that statement about you one time before, that's what you do. When they go back to respond, you cut off. I'm not like that. You could talk to me woman to woman, man to man, whatever it is you are. I'm not judging you, but you could talk to me like an adult. And if you got a problem about something, you come to me with it, right? Like I said, to the rest of the crew, it's a hard knock life out there. You better get it right. And you better sit down and talk to your kids about life. All right? Because it's getting worse. Because there's real legions out there. It's a drought season out here. You know how you're going to make it. I don't know how to make it. But you know what? I thank God he allowed me to be able to know some things wiser. To be able to make it. To be able to stand how I am today. So, again, I love all y'all, but please, let's get this straight, people. Your president, if he get voted again in office, you all better have a plan. You all better have a plan. I'm telling y'all. You all better have a plan. You better talk to your kids now. Because, see, just like they did to this young man, another black man can be like this. And they still getting off. And some of my Caucasian sister brothers, I thank you the highest for what you're doing, for how you stand up for us. But it's for those of you, if your heart not really real into this, and you don't really understand about African American slavery, or you don't understand about us, our hard times, or what we have to go through, why don't you sit down with it's easy to say that you got black friends, or you got blacks in your family, or that you got black co-workers, but until you got to know them and know their life and been around them and understand their life and understand the hardship they have to go through. See, privilege is not just your skin. That's what you thought. You got privilege because of your richness. We have to work twice as hard to get where you at. But when we get there, you destroy everything we work for. So, people, y'all better be going to school trying to get them history books to teach your kids the real history before they start changing up everything. All right. So I love y'all. I'll see y'all later.